Hi, welcome back to Let's Talk Book Cons. Today's episode is going to be What's in My Bag, but cart edition. So this is everything that I usually bring with me to conventions, and they're usually either in my bag, which is a cute purse, or a backpack, or what's in my actual cart. And I do usually stay at the hotel where the convention's at so that I can go up and down my room and unload or reload the cart as needed, because I usually do bring a lot of books from home, so I have to go into the convention with my cart loaded, but I also am taking a bunch of books from my pre-orders, so I do have to keep unloading and unloading it. So that's one of my secrets. Shadows and Seductions in New Orleans 2026, I stayed at a different hotel and I did have to Uber back and forth. I tried my best to only Uber once back and forth, but in Sinners and Stardust, I stayed at 2025. I stayed at the same hotel, so I would just go up and down. And then for Vixens and Villains, I'm staying at the hotel. And then this new Shadows and Seductions 2027, I'm also staying at the hotel. So I learned my lesson with that. Okay, now for what's actually in my cart. I do keep a lot of things in my cart. Most of these things are probably not necessary to you. I'll just tell you what's been working for me. If you have better suggestions, I always accept them. So there's going to be a long version and a short version. Long version is going to be in YouTube. Short version is going to be here on Instagram. So I'm just going to go quickly over them. But if you do want to see more in-depth details, head over to the YouTube channel. So what's in my cart? Usually I have the short handle cart. I'm going to put a picture here. So I bought these stroller kind of like baggies where I was able to keep my coffee, because I usually got Starbucks, and then my like water bottle for hydration. And I did include a pocket where I kept like granola bars and stuff for snacks, because you will forget to eat. If you're not forced to eat, you will forget to eat. So snacks are mandatory because you start getting like lightheaded. Next, I do always keep a power bank with me. It's extremely important, especially if you're creating content during the convention, or if you're paying with your phone, like Apple Pay or PayPal or Venmo, because you do run out your battery like that, especially if you're taking videos and photos. So and you just don't want to be in the corner waiting for your phone to charge so you can come back. So battery pack for me is a must, essential. I usually have my name on it. This is another thing I do keep in my bag. Since I got a larger handle cart, I'm not going to be able to use this one because it doesn't fit. So I did buy from Amazon this one. It's also a 2-cup, but it has something that I did not have in my previous one, and it's a phone holder. So if I want to record something and I don't have my tripod with me, or I don't have someone with me, I can hold my phone there and probably like record or take pictures, or just like keep it there so I don't lose it. That's actually really cool. And it is detachable if you don't want to have it, but it's a great option. And then you get the 2-cup holders. You get the taller one and then this one. It's really cool. I'm going to set it up later so you're going to be able to see it in the video. But the great thing about this is that it attaches to one of the rods from your handle. So it's not like a sleeve where you put in like these ones for your luggage or a stroller. So it's more clippable. It's easier to function. So I'm really excited to test this one out at the convention I'm going to next, to see if it actually works so that I can have it ready for Shadows and Seductions 2027. All of these things, I do have them linked in my Amazon storefront. But some of these things, I actually got them from like Ross or Marshalls or TJ Maxx. But I did find dupes or similar items on Amazon, and I'm going to link it for you in the storefront. Okay, another thing I usually bring is I had a sign made by the Pumpkin Pot Co. with my handle or my tag. And I take double-sided tape, and I just tape it to the cart per se, so that I kind of know that's my cart. Even though it's going to be with me at all times, I still like to put my handle on it. I think it's easier. With the double-sided tape, I also make trade signs. This time I included my Instagram handle. I'm going to cut this up and laminate it so that it's like durable for the convention. And I usually tape it in the front so that people will know I have trades. Also for the trades, every convention, everyone decides on a color bow or ribbon to let people know you have trades. For this convention that I'm going to next, it's pink, which is why I make this pink. I usually change it to the color of the ribbon. And then I have this ribbon set up, and I just tie it to the handle of my cart so that people can also see. I will put a picture here of how that looks from previous conventions. And then, now that we have this, I always bring a folder with me so that I can keep all of the artwork I receive and any other like paper form that I would need in here, so that it doesn't get messed up with all of the books or lost around my cart or on the floor or anywhere else. So folder, I have these envelope folders. I usually take 1 or 2, depending on how much art I think I'm going to get. The last time it was really packed, so it was really handy to have 2. But again, you probably don't need 2. Another thing I like to keep is this little box that I have. I received it as a gift from something I don't even remember. It was probably Victoria's Secret or something based on the colors. But I do take it with me, and I put every single sticker that I received. I still have stickers in here. Every single sticker that I received in here, and it's just easier for me. Up next, I got these trading card sleeves. They were the perfect size for the gembling cards, and I do usually buy a lot of the gembling cards. Let me see, I'll show you. A lot. And I put them in these sleeves just to like protect them. So I did buy these off of Amazon. I also linked in the storefront. But it's just a way to keep them safer until I get like that binder thing. I did see people taking their whole binder and pulling it out of the convention and just organizing it in the slots. I think that's just too much to carry because those binders are like thick. So I will either keep them on my envelope or on the actual box per se. But these sleeves are a must because they do protect your art. And then I do have a few displayed that I just like literally taped it with double-sided tape to the actual shelf. And then it doesn't get damaged because what I'm taping is actually the sleeve and not the card per se. So also, very handy. Another thing I like to bring is a little pouch where I usually keep, I put like 1 or 2 pens and then Sharpies or markers. I bought these markers from Ross for $14.99. They're alcohol markers. They're 2-sided. So I have 2 different tips. So I have this tip and then this one that's more like a highlighter style tip. And this is what I used for all of those signatures and Shadows and Seductions because authors will have Sharpies, but sometimes they do run out. And if you want a specific color, then it's best if you bring your own Sharpie. So I did one kind of a specific color. It did go rogue, but I did start off with all of the gold and purple for Shadows and Seductions. So I did take all of the purples and gold from here, and then I just put them in this like little pouch, and also a pen so that I can write stuff because I will show you something that I also take that's very handy. And I do keep this in my cart along with the books. For sticky notes. Why do I take sticky notes, which I also keep in here, is because I do want to label the art. Sometimes you receive art and it's not labeled or it doesn't have like writing on it and you're like, what's this from? Like, who's this from and what is it for? For example, I do have a bunch of art that is just like, who are you and what are you? From where did I get you? So some of them you kind of know who they're from or based on like the scene from a book. I cannot remember for the life of me which book this is from. I know I got it at a convention and they have nothing written on them. These I do know it's from Obsidian Dissension because I have seen these arts there on their website. But that's it. These are all of my unclaimed art. So this year, I am not messing that up. I was actually told or recommended by another convention goer to just label them with sticky notes and put them in your folder and that's it. That's all you need. So I am taking a little sticky notepad to take with me. Found it. So I am taking sticky notepads so that I can put them inside the folder with the art. And that way I keep everything organized. Then like I said, I did take that Canva this year for Shadows and Seductions, and I got an autograph out of every single author that I went up to, whether it was to buy books, to get pre-orders, or just to like chat with them on their table about what kind of books they wrote and kind of just like learn a little bit about them. So I am going to do that for every single other convention. I do know for at least for Shadows, I believe there was a vendor who was doing them professionally, and then you just bought them and you would get them with the art, and then that day you would pick it up the first day and then have everyone sign it. Before they even put that pre-order up, I had already made this one and I really liked how it turned out, and it's the perfect size. It's 8.5 by 11, which is just like a regular paper size. So I am going to do it again. I try to keep it with the logo. I freestyle it to the best of my ability because I'm not an artist. But I freestyle it and then I have everyone sign it. So I did buy these in like bulk at Ross. But I do have them linked on my Amazon also. And it's fun. It was really fun, like giving up to every single author, and then you get to display it on your shelves. And I actually really love that. So, Canva. What else? Okay, another thing I usually bring with me is this pin. I am from Puerto Rico, and I am super proud to be a Latina content creator and bookish community member. So I do put this on my lanyard, on my badge. It's just like a little like reminding everyone that I'm from here and I love it and I'm proud, and it's just bringing a little piece of home with me to the convention. So that's actually really cool. I also keep it in my little pouch, and when we do receive the lanyards, I take it out and put it on immediately. Then another thing I usually keep or bring with me is an empty tote bag. You usually get tote bags at the convention, especially from authors or vendors. They do have them out, or they give it to you with your purchase of your pre-order. But I always take at least one empty tote bag because that's where I like to put my trades in so that they're not all messed up around my cart. So I usually bring my trades with me with my little like purse or a little backpack, and then I have like my trade tote bag that I can always put on top of my cart if I need to. But that's where I take my trays out and hand them to people. Once I do get another tote bag at the convention, I immediately take the books out, put them in my cart, and use that to put in the trays that I have received from other people, so that I can also keep them there and they're not like loose on my cart, and they don't take space in my cart either. So you will always see me walking around either on top of my cart or on me with like 2 tote bags. It's just an easier system for me. I'm sure there's easier ways, but that's how it works for me, because you do receive a lot of trades, and I usually organize them by the end of the night in my like room. That's like my little, before I go to bed, I like look at every single thing that I got for the day, and then all of the books, and I start like organizing everything, and it's really nice. But that's me. That's like my reward at the end of the day. So I usually keep them, like I said, in that tote bag, and then I organize it and put everything where it needs to go on my luggage every night of the convention. I'm gonna show you next my new cart, and then I will place a picture of the cart that I had before so that you kind of know why I changed carts. Okay, so for the cart, I'm gonna put a picture here of the cart I used to have. It was a removable top, so it got really in the way, and when I was trying to put things in, I would have to take it out and then leave it on the floor while I reorganized everything, and it was always a hassle. And then when it was overflowing, there was nowhere where I could put that top, because it wouldn't fit inside of the cart unless it was like diagonally, right? So it was taking up a lot of a space, and I just couldn't do it anymore. But I did get a new cart, which we're going to unbox now. I've seen many people with this cart, and I thought, you know, that's what I need to be doing. That's a great idea. So this top rolls back and then goes into the cart, so it doesn't take much space. So if whenever I need to open it, I don't have to like remove it. And then when I don't need it anymore, I just put it back, and it doesn't take space. I did get it in purple. My previous one was in like light green. Let's see. We're gonna have to put something together. Let's see. Okay, I guess that's empty. Let's see. Okay, so it also has the little security brackets. And then there's a tab in here where I put it down. That's awesome. And then it stays secure on the sides. I push this down to like secure this also. That's actually really cool. That's actually really fucking cool. Okay. And then the top. Ah! I love it. I love it better than my previous one. It's the same size. So it does stay locked. I have a button here that I push, then I open, and then it just like slides down there. So it's even better than what I thought, because it doesn't take space inside my cart. It's outside. And then I just put this in whenever I want to like close it again, but it's really sturdy, so it's not gonna like move. This is freaking great. It has the same wheels that I had in the previous one. It does also come with like the lock system if I want to lock a wheel. I have seen people with like the 3-wheel, the bigger ones. They haven't been necessary for me at this stage, so I'm just gonna stay with like the regular wheels, but I do know that that is an item that I can change on the carts. So this is the tour of the new cart. I'm actually really excited for this. Let's set it up. Okay, now for the tote bags, I have saved up, like I have stacked a pretty big number of totes throughout the years, throughout the events. I do have some that are like from the event per se, so like this one was Shadows and Seductions. This was also Shadows and Seduction, and then this was the one for Sinister Stardust 2025, and I do like to keep those. I actually do use them. I use these, as you saw in a previous video, I use this to like go to a convention here in Puerto Rico. I do use them for like weekend bags or for like my beach wear, and I also use them for like anything that I need. Some of these I actually even use for like shopping per se, so that I don't have to like have many bags. I'm gonna show you a little quick tour of every single bag that I have in my collection. So yeah, I have this cute little backpack that came with my Patreon from Obsidian Dissension. I have 2 of these Lee Rivers. We're gonna show it down there. This one I did buy myself. This was from, I believe it's Marshall's, and it's been really useful when you need like a really big tote bag. This one I got as a gift by a friend. These I got at the conventions per se. So this one I got at the convention. This one I kind of like made work, like trying to like figure out how to do iron on vinyl. So another one from Lee Reavers. This one is from is this Obsidian Dissension also? I think so. Anyways, I have 2 of these. One I'm currently using as a weekend bag, so I have it over there with my clothes. But this is actually really spacious, like super spacious. This one from M. Sinclair, Mila Young, Abby Nelson Graves. I have 2 sizes of Caitlin Taylor. This was from Shadows and Seduction, and this one was from Sinners, because I did buy more books at Sinners. From the Bookish Box, I received at Sinners. This one from Latricia Nova, I also received at Sinners. Another from Obsidian Dissension. This one I did by myself. It's by Emily Henry. I was at a bookstore. They only had like paperbacks for my books, and I had like 8 books. So they were gonna give me like 4 different paperbacks because only 2 books fit in them. So I was like, I'm just gonna buy a tote because I didn't bring a tote with me that time. Sorry guys, I'm still super sick. And then this one I got at Shadows and Seductions in New Orleans. So it's by a brilliant gift, and I did get it with some trinkets I got my family as like a trip present. So I'm definitely bringing it this time to Shadows and Seductions because it fits the theme. Look how perfect it is. This is probably going to be my trade bag for Shadows. And then I have this one by Holly Renee, which is super cute. And it's short, so it's like short but like a fatty. It's really nice. So those are all of my tote bags. Like I said, you usually get tote bags in the convention, and then, but I always bring one, at least one, because that's where I carry my trades so that they're not like in my cart area. I like hang them up my cart, but they're not in my cart. You know what I mean? So tote bags are very useful, and then that's how I keep the trades that I received separate to the ones I give. So I usually have, whenever I receive a tote bag at the convention, that first tote bag I take the books out or whatever's in it, and then I use it to put in the trades that I received so that I keep them different from the ones I'm giving out. Okay, so I have my cart, I have the little bow, and I have the little caddy thing. So I'm just gonna place them so that I could show you how I'm gonna be using this and how it works. So I just put it here, and I'm just gonna tighten it all the way. I usually do this the night before, and I set it up. I set everything up in the hotel room. I place all the books that I'm gonna be like bringing with me the next day, and like everything that I'm gonna need the night before. So I take this out of my like luggage, and then I set everything up. So this is how that would look, and I do leave it like this at the convention and like in the bedroom so that in the morning I just like take it out, you know. All right, and then I do add this here. Just gonna do a bow now, but usually I would do like a really hard knot at the convention so that it doesn't fall out. So that's how that would look. I will also post a picture here of a previous example of a convention that I've already gone to. And then right at the front, usually since the top part was not at the front for me, it was like tear apart, I would put it on the front, the little like trade sign. But since I do have this, I will probably put it here. So whenever I do have it up, it's going to be a sign over here. So I'm probably going to make 2 different signs, one for here and then one for when it's opened, so that in case I walk around with this opened after it gets full, so that I also have one here. So this time around, I'm going to be making 2 different signs. But this is my setup. And then, see? It's sturdy. It's hard. It doesn't seem like it's going to fall. And then I can have my phone here whenever I want to make content or if I just want to, like, sit down. Look how cool this is. I just noticed that it's, like, adjustable. And then it stays that way. Or I could, like, you know, have it, like, I don't know. The grip. I'm talking about the grip so that I'm like different devices fit in here is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, so that's how my setup is going to be. I'm actually really excited for this. Anyways, love you. Say bye.